The first 25 minutes of this was a hockey game. The next 15 minutes was a public execution, and then the last 20 minutes was an episode of WWE. Avs win over the Ottawa Senators 8-2. If you were looking for a response to adversity for the Colorado Avalanche, this was it. And I know Ottawa's on a Sega Baba and all the nonsense is swirling around them that played into the Avs' hands here, and the Avs were the favored team for many reasons. But no amount of favoring ends up in an 8-2 hockey game. That's the Avs going out and taking care of business and then some. And it isn't just the obvious goal scoring that the Avs put up in this game. 2 minutes in, Ottawa lays down a big hit and Josh Manson steps up for a fight and absolutely beats the brakes off of Tyler Kleven. It set the tone for the entire game for the Colorado Avalanche. And Josh Manson was going to do a lot more than just fight in this one. His first shift out of the box, puck go net. An ozone faceoff that Nelson is going to win back here. Colton gets in to get it cleanly back to Manson so the Avs can run their setup. You see they run bodies across the middle here. A bit of a pick play to give Manson a little bit of space to get this shot off, and somehow he just finds the perfect lane through all the bodies right over the pad, and it's in. You love to see a set play come together like that for the Avs. I will say Ottawa very clearly did not get particularly good goaltending in this game, but the Avs were able to take advantage of that. We've seen plenty of games this season where the Avs are firing pucks repeatedly into a goalie's chest and not taking legitimately dangerous shots. All night in this game, the Avs were putting pucks in places that were going to require good saves. And Ottawa didn't get very many of them. One of the big keys in this game for the Avs was getting to the center of the ice. You see Manson do it along the blue line there to find a puck to the back of the net. The Avs' top players run the same strategy, just a little bit deeper in the zone late in the first to get the Avs lead to 2. A great initial entry and feed from Necas and ultimately to MacKinnon over to Makar creates a grade A chance that doesn't go as Makar doesn't get the best shot off, but it shows that the Avs are moving the puck well in this game, and they just continue doing so on this shift. Necas recollects, gets it to the middle. Nathan MacKinnon has swirled all the way out of the zone and back in. Ottawa has completely lost the most dangerous player in the NHL. That's bad. MacKinnon from the middle with a beautiful shot gets through the glove. Yeah, after 2 scoreless games for Necas and MacKinnon, they seemingly let out all of their fury on Ottawa in this one. That was just the beginning. 2 extremely high-end players doing extremely high-end things all night long was very fun to watch. So the Avs are up 2 after 1. You go into the second, and the Avs have to kill a power play early in the period, but they managed to do that. And finally, we get to see Cale Makar actually put a good shot into the net. The Avs are even dangerous when they're halfway changing here. They've got guys going off, and Josh Manson jumps up and leads this play on the breakout and is able to get the Avs in the zone and set up something here. Just off the bench, Nathan MacKinnon gets the puck, collects, holds on to it, creates space with himself, and eventually leaves for Cale Makar coming in on the backside of this play, who doesn't do anything fancy. He just takes the space given and then picks a spot, and Makar finally with a pretty goal. Cale's on pace for over 20 goals by a good bit this season, which for a normal defenseman would be crazy. But if you've watched Cale over the last handful of games, it just seems like there's been this lack of confidence in his ability to shoot and actually score. Seeing a puck like that go in for him hopefully releases the pressure valve a little bit there. We all know Cale Makar's that good. Hopefully Makar remembers he's that good too. So it's 3-0 at this point. The Avs are completely in the driver's seat, but you finally get a genuine pushback from Ottawa, and they kind of take over the game for the next 6, 7, 8 minutes, including getting a goal on the board. A neutral zone turnover from the Avs leaves them in, looks like it could be a dangerous spot, but it's really not, as both Ottawa players are bunched up on the near wall here, so Malinsky's able to get back and recover, and Makar can take the puck carrier. Ultimately, this just ends up being a perfect shot, barring in, from Pinto. Sometimes a great shot goes bar in, and that's what it is. Tip your cap and move on. Giving up 1 after you score 3 isn't all that concerning. Giving up a second one just about a minute or 2 later would be concerning, which the Avs do give up a goal off a super scrambly sequence, but thankfully none of that ends up mattering because the goal goes in, but Ottawa pretty definitively offside. The Avs challenge. They win a challenge for the first time in feels like forever, and it stays 3-1. From there, that challenge certainly seems to take the wind out of Ottawa's sails, and then the Avs just completely barrage them. In the second half of the second period, the Avs score 5 times in about 6.5 minutes of hockey, including multiple power play goals. I'm going to play them in succession here because that's what a barrage feels like. The Avs continuing to utilize MacKinnon pretty rangy on this boards all the way down to the goal line here. In this case, he is eventually going to work his way back up to the half wall area as he gives this puck to Makar, and as he works up, Necas slides into that bottom slot area. So the Avs have a little bit better movement with those guys right now. MacKinnon going to take his time and use space, and then ultimately just feed this to Necas, who even from the tough angle just shoots this one hard and on net, and it goes in. Almost immediately after the power play goal, puck coming up the wall here, a bit flubbed by Ottawa, but Ross Colton just works his butt off to get to this puck and then create a possession for the Avs in the offensive zone here. Full credit to him. It's great work. You work it out high, you get it to Burns. We all know Brent Burns. We know this puck is going towards the net. It's not a particularly great shot, but sometimes you want to aim for the defenseman's thigh, and when you do, it goes in the net. 5-on-3 for the Avs. They're working the perimeter. Honestly, maybe playing a little bit higher than I would like initially, but what I really love for MacKinnon here as he gets this puck back is look at how much of the space he uses. Just about every inch up until the defenseman, he just gobbles all of that space up and forces them to respect him before hitting the chip flip pass that he loves to do. He puts the sauce on it and connects with it nicely this time, and Nelson does not hesitate, and you've got another power play goal. So many second chance opportunities in this game for the Avs. As Drury works a puck out, you get a great chance in the middle for Drury that doesn't go on net, but he's able to recover the rebound, keep the Avs alive, and they keep working. The Manson one-time bomb from out high. It's another great shot. I think the lesson we're learning here is one time the puck, another possession in the offensive zone for the Avs, which is a little bit awkward and sketchy at times, but they're able to move the puck well, and ultimately another cross-ice pass is going to come across as Ottawa's defense struggles, leaves a ton of room for Brock Nelson to work into, and he gets this puck and knows what to do with it. That is some of the best sequences of shooting we've seen from the Avs all season. Yes, there are a bunch of good plays leading up to those goals too, but the Avs finishing in the way that they did against Ottawa is really nice to see. The Avs score a ton of goals this season, but a lot of that comes from dominating the puck and racking up ridiculously high shots on goal numbers. When you have finishing like they had in this game, you don't have to play such dominant hockey, and you can get away with it. Now, of course, you want the Avs to be dominant and continue doing that, and I'm sure they will. But sometimes you can give yourself a little bit more of a night off when you finish effectively. So blink and you'll miss it. This game is suddenly 8-1 going into the third period. Now, no one is crazy enough to believe that Ottawa was actually going to even be competitive in the third period, and they were not. And I understand it's the way of hockey, the unwritten rules, that if you're getting blown out, you got to add some physicality. You got to go throw the body around. You got to make it hard to play against you, even if you did not be very competitive in the game. And I can live with that if you're making clean hits. If you're going out there and checking the guy with the puck, if you're trying to throw a big body onto someone, all of that's fine. I get that. But the way Ottawa approached this third period was just to not play hockey at all and take pretty blatant penalties left and right. It starts with Tim Stützle charging Sam Girard along the boards to try and fight, which, by the way, Tim Stützle, you got cooked by Sam Girard in a fight. Go sit down, buddy. Then it follows up with someone crashing into Wedgwood in net. There are multiple attempted hits, both landing and missing. That's just nonsense from Ottawa. They continue to go after Sam Girard for some reason, because I guess it makes them feel tough going after the smallest guy on the ice. This does, funnily enough, end up with Ottawa scoring a shorthanded goal against the Avs, but it's to make the game 8-2. I just do not care. And frankly, this third period was kind of dangerous and could have gotten really dangerous. Things were starting to get out of hand. It was a really poor job managing the game by the refs. They let Ottawa get away with far too much, in my opinion. And I know maybe I'm coming from the biased Avalanche side of things here, but we can't let people just run around and do nonsense. You got to keep it under control. Thankfully, nobody gets hurt. We get out of it all okay, and the Avs get their dominant win. You bounce back from a couple of losses, and everything feels great. I really don't know how much better the Avs could have played in this game. It was an A1 response back on home ice, and it was awesome. This team is cooking, and they're going to continue cooking, I suspect. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and I don't want to be sick anymore.